The DNC is in the hot seat. The DNC is under fire right now because it turns out the Democrat National Committee is nothing but filled with a whole bunch of hypocrites. Now, I know that doesn't seem like breaking news to you, but they've been caught red-handed, like literally red-handed. There's a new news story in Axios just out moments ago. The DNC covered Biden's legal bills in special counsel probe. Now you say, okay, well, why does that matter? Why is that a big deal? Well, it kind of matters because their entire criticism of the RNC is that the RNC has been using money to pay for Trump's legal woes. So this can't work both ways. So they're out there saying, how dare, this is a violation of this, that, and the other. And then lo and behold, they're doing the exact same thing. If you go further into this story, and I think we have another graphic we can show you, you see that it's $1.5 million to lawyers or firms representing Biden during the probe. And this is according to the committee's financial filings. I mean, did they not think that this would come out? Maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't because they think that the media is on their side, right? They just make a few phone calls and they threaten to go inside your computer and look at your email and this and that. We're going to talk about FISA warrants. They threaten to do all that. And then maybe, you don't do it as a reporter. You don't cover this stuff. I don't know. I mean, but how did they actually think that they were going to get away with this? You can't sit there and criticize the Trump campaign over and over and over again saying, oh my gosh, they're spending all this money on legal fees. And then you turn around, you're doing the exact same thing. I mean, I just don't know how these people can look themselves in the mirror each day. I mean, how do you do that? How do you sit there and criticize knowing that you're doing the exact same thing? This is a big deal story, ladies and gentlemen. And it speaks once again to the total hypocrisy of this administration. They just keep lying. And whether they're lying about the border, whether they're lying about the economy, whether they're lying about Hunter Biden's laptop, heard that one before, right? Whether they're lying about Biden's campaign donations going to pay for his legal bills. I mean, it all comes out. The truth all comes out eventually. And my advice to them would be to remember that because we're living in a different kind of world right now. A world where all of this information is far more readily available. Readily available. I mean, how great is that? I'm here with you in a very different kind of way, a far more intimate way than anything I would have done at Fox News or Bloomberg or CNBC. And I'm able to do this because of advances in technology that make this possible. Although you guys also make it possible. Another reason I need you to subscribe, to sign up, to like, and do all that stuff. But in other words, all of this news is getting out to you because there's a democratization, if you would, of the information flow. And that's critical and that's so important. And in the old days, you didn't really have that because think about it. You had the big 3 networks for years. Remember, you'd sit down as a family and watch the 6:30 evening news. I remember that. My kids are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, yeah. I mean, back in the day, right? Thank you. That long ago, but it was really back in the day. They can't even compute the idea of having to wait an entire week to see your favorite show. And the whole idea that, if you didn't see it that moment in time, whoo, it was gone. Like gone, seemingly forever. Didn't come back until a few years ago, right? On Netflix or Amazon. This is the reality of the world in which we now live. I mean, this is just what's so devastating. And yet devastating in that the good in that, I'm here with you and we can talk and you've got all these different methods of communication, but bad, of course, in that there's still an effort, I think, to control a narrative. I'm relieved that they're not having the success that they would like to be having, however, and that's really, really important.